Mandalorian. This is a good show too. This is a show that I really like. I'm a Star Wars fan, but this show, it takes one of the more popular characters, the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and his people, and it takes a closer look at one of them, the Mandalorian, starring Pedro Pascal, Carl Weathers, the great Giancarlo Esposito. If you got a good show, Breaking Bad, The Boys, Do the Right Thing, where he can play a character that either incites a lot of violence or is the actual cause of the violence. If you want a bad guy, if you want a villain, look no further than the great Giancarlo Esposito, man. There's a character in there. I was watching, he's talking to this person, and I'm like, that looks familiar. I think I know that person. I did. Kathy M. O'Brien plays basically, essentially his commander, his lieutenant. And she was in, you'll recognize her because she was in several movies. She was in TV shows. Z Nation, she was in Black Lightning, she was in Westworld, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Walking Dead, and usually she plays the main guy's right-hand man, as it were. And that's essentially what she's doing now. Giancarlo Esposito is playing essentially a Darth Vader kind of a character. He's got the black suit and everything. He's got the lightsaber and all of that stuff. And I think that he's trying to gather and weaponize the Force. They found out that people with the midichlorians in their system can control the Force, or can use the Force, allow it to flow through them and manipulate it to do different things. He, it appears, is trying to get a grip on that power, which is something, in the future you wonder about that. Robots, where are the robots at? They're here now. You see all kinds of robots and everything. Of course you had C3PO and R2D2, but fighting robots that would get out there and, give you the business. And now they got that. They got robots that are doing that. In fact, he's got, I think he called it the Dark Order or the Black Order or something like that. 4 or 5 robots that look like they're specifically made to give people that work. Well, they're here. He uses them. And in this episode, Mando was trying to get the child to a certain rock in a certain area on a certain planet that would allow him to absorb and send out so much, to channel so much of the Force that other Jedi, if they're checking him out, will know and come see what's happening. And then that way he can give the kid to a Jedi. Unfortunately, Boba Fett shows up and he wants his armor. And they do this whole thing where they gotta fight each other. In the comic books, before 2 superheroes can work together, they gotta fight each other. That's kind of what's happening here. He's threatening him. Give me the armor, man. I'll blast you and the kid. So as they're getting ready to get their thing down, the stormtroopers show up. And through the entire Star Wars thing, stormtroopers are pretty much, Star Trek red shirts. They're just showing up to get shot. They start a little chaos, a little ruckus, and then they get blasted. And that's pretty much what happens here. They're fighting Boba Fett, Mando, and a sniper who is pretty good. She's blasting them from all over the place. They're just there to get their work, They didn't really do anything. And stormtroopers, they're just cannon fodder. They just throw a bunch of them out there so you can get ready to do your real thing. And that's what they did. They threw them out there, caused a little chaos, a little confusion, and then Moff Gideon sends the robot troops to capture the kid. The kid gets captured. That's crazy. I figured they had to do a little something to spice it up. So the kid's gonna get captured. Moff is gonna have him. They're gonna try to do some experiments on him. They're gonna find out something that's gonna be surprising. Oh no, look at this, is a surprise. And then Mando has to rescue him. But the thing is that Mando can't do it alone. So Boba Fett's like, yeah, man, you know what? I owe you, man. So I'll help you. And he's got the freaking Boba Fett who killed, like, this is a Disney show, but they're killing the crap out of people. Boba Fett probably killed 7 people harshly. He beat them with a metal stick, a rod. He was just, and the ones that was like knocked out, he just stabbed them. Just so you know, he's dead. And he stabbed him right through the armor with one hand, just and he's beating these dudes. He's hitting them and chunks of their armor is flying all over the place. Now you got to remember, if you saw Clone Wars, these initially, their initial stormtrooper army were clones of his pop. So you know, a bunch of them together has got to be at least equal to or greater than his father. And he just dog walked them. He just walked right through a bunch of them. So you know, Boba Fett he's about that Star Wars life. He's about that saber, lightsaber, the Force, you know, putting the beat down life. So Mando has to get a team together to try to get the kid back. So he goes back to an old friend and he's like, I need some help. Tell me about this, this, and this. Help me get this guy. Where's he at? And that's another part of the show that they'll probably be doing on the next episode. So now he's got a 4 or 5 man team. He's making Star Wars Avengers. He's making the Star Wars Avengers. Which happens to be another Disney product. I'm stoked. I'm happy. I'm feeling this. This is a good show, man. This is a great show. In fact, this show is so good that I would give The Mandalorian, all the way up to now, at least up till now, I would give it 8 bags of popcorn. 8 bags of popcorn, man, because that's what I think about that. What do you think about that? You've seen The Mandalorian. You haven't seen The Mandalorian. Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the content, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.